Peace. So, the action or capability of understanding something, that is what we would call the definition of comprehension. Forgive me, I'm just waking up. That's the definition of comprehension. The action or capability of understanding something. With that being stated, I wanted to say that because there's a difference between reading and comprehension. People believe just because they read something, they know what they're reading, or they can go back and regurgitate what they're reading. But sometimes it's important to have comprehension. You understand? To basically understand what you have read, having the ability to understand the reading. Now, a lot of times people read, and some of the things that we see, and some of the things that I have seen throughout the years when people are reading, where they find fault, where they lay fault at, in not being able to comprehend correctly the information is, number one, they don't know how to comprehend, and number two, they may do things such as, for instance, you're reading a paragraph, right? And there's a word in the paragraph that you can't even pronounce the word, you don't know what the word means or whatever, so you skip the word, but you continue to read the paragraph. The skipping of that one word has destroyed the meaning of that whole paragraph. What you have done to yourself is you've cheated yourself because you skipped that one word because you don't know the meaning of that word. Well, one thing that you can do to increase comprehension is when you come across things like that, you grab a dictionary. You understand? Write the word down, look the word up, and get what the word means, and then go back and read that sentence all over again with the word in it, and having a comprehension of what the word means. Now, the thing with this is that a lot of times we have people in positions of leadership and things of that nature who are constantly spitting out information without any understanding of what they're spitting out. And that can be dangerous for the masses. That can be dangerous for individuals. That can be dangerous for a group. You see what I'm saying? Because comprehension is everything. If you're not giving the information from a place where you understand the information, you can't make others understand it. Because if you understand the information and you know the audience that you're dealing with, you are able to take that information and transfer it into a way in which they can comprehend it as well. In other words, you come down to speaking the language of the people. You understand what I'm saying? You putting yourself right in the shoes. You understand? And that comes with the knowledge of knowing your community, knowing the people that you're going to be dealing with. As a teacher, you want to know your target audience. As a teacher, you want to know the history of the audience that you're teaching. You want to know some of the background of your students and so on and so forth. You want to know the environments they come from and things of that nature, because these tools, knowing about your students or about the individuals that you're going to be dealing with, it helps to increase your comprehension of them, your understanding of them culturally and so on and so forth. So comprehension is a powerful thing when you can understand how it's utilized. And I keep saying understand and comprehension because they go together. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like if I'm talking twice, and I am. Because sometimes we have to repeat ourselves because sometimes we don't comprehend what's being said. So sometimes I may say a word and people may not understand the meaning of that word. So I'll give a word that's synonymous to it that they may understand and grab. I'm not saying that people are unintelligent or that they're ignorant or anything of that nature. What I'm saying is that we haven't taken the time out to comprehend information. We live in a fast place. Everything is fast. Everything is upbeat. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be out here, you know what I'm saying, teaching people or sharing information, make sure that you comprehend the information so that you can share it correctly, so there won't be any misinformation. You see what I mean? So there won't be any misdirection or errors that has to come along later to be corrected by somebody who comprehends the information. See, it's not enough to read. Reading without comprehension is a death sentence. You see what I'm saying? And we see it daily. You know what I mean? In the dealings with the people that we deal with, in society, so on and so forth. I mean, even in certain situations where we're just having common debates or just having conversation with just general people, you can see the lack of comprehension. For instance, you talk about things like sociological topics like racism and these social constructs and all types of isms. The people who are suffering or oppressed from these isms, talking to others who haven't experienced it, has quite a hard time comprehending where we're coming from when we talk about racism and when we talk about the inequalities and the injustices. They have a hard time comprehending it because they don't understand it, because they haven't witnessed it, they haven't lived it, they haven't experienced it. It's not in their biological makeup, and it's not in their world. See, again, I keep saying, understand that we live in two different societies. Even though we live in America, we live in two different societies because we're living under two different mindsets. You know what I'm saying? The people have two different minds. You know what I mean? One group of people is like everything is Humpty Dumpty, and the other group of people is like, yo, everything is wrong. You know what I mean? And the beautiful thing is that because one beautiful thing about social technology is because these things are being brought to the forefront because they can be taped. But these things have always existed. What we're seeing now is what certain demographics of our communities have always experienced from generation to generation to generation to generation. And they couldn't comprehend why. The thing is this, when you have a certain understanding and a certain knowledge of your own self, you know and understand that to continue to do things the same way is what we call insanity. To continue to do the same things the same way and to expect different results and so on and so forth, that's an insane mind. So we have to recognize and comprehend that sometimes we are out of our mind trying to recycle the same thing over and over again and expecting some type of results, or expecting different results from trying the same things that never gave us any results. You see what I'm saying? So that's comprehension as well. We have to mentally be able to comprehend our own selves. We have to be able to comprehend what's outside of us externally, and we have to be able to comprehend how society works. We have to understand these things, because when we understand, we have a better way and a better idea and a better hope of breaking down the system and rebuilding it up for something a lot better that's inclusionary of all people, regardless of whatever, you see what I mean? So reading is good. It's good to read. It's a beautiful thing to read, because reading is a part of learning and researching. But what good again is the reading and the researching if you're not comprehending the information? Because that's the most important part of out of everything, is the understanding of it. That's the best part. You understand what I'm saying? That's the jewel, that's the gift, is understanding. And when you have that, it makes things a lot more clear for you. You understand what I'm saying? And when you have understanding, you can clear things up for others who may not have the same amount of understanding, or who are working their way to develop a greater comprehension of the things around them. So with that being stated, I just wanted to share that this morning. You know what I'm saying? It's more to read. You know, reading is great, but comprehension is a lot better. So understand what you're reading, understand what you're dealing with. Comprehension is the key. Peace.